Today we're taking these thrifted jeans and transforming them into an absolute one-of-a-kind piece. I'm gonna start by dyeing them. Well, at least part of them. This gorgeous teal color. I'm using the powder to liquid version. The package says to add a bit of salt for better absorption, then hit it with boiling water. Once it's all mixed and the powder is completely dissolved, I transfer it to a bigger container with regular water. It doesn't need to be hot anymore. Now I'm grabbing the top half of the jeans and dunking it straight into the dye. Gotta be careful here, making sure it's absorbing evenly on both the front and back. To get that cool gradient effect without a harsh line separating the colors, I'm giving it these little dips, not fully submerging it, so the color concentrates less. I'll repeat this a few times. After that, let it sit for at least 30 minutes. If you see that line between the dipped part and the dry part getting too sharp, just go back and give it another light dunk. Once it's taken the color I want, I'll drain it and set it aside, because we're not done dyeing yet. You can already see that gradient effect starting to show. Now let's prep the violet, following that same salt and boiling water routine. You don't always have to use the whole packet, by the way. For the teal, I used a bit more than half, and same here. The intensity really depends on the brand you're using and the garment itself. Light colors and cotton absorb way faster and better. Now I'm repeating the process, dunking that bottom half into the violet. In the section where the teal is lighter, I'll dip it briefly so they blend more naturally, just like we did before. Let that sit for 30 minutes, keeping an eye on that line so it doesn't get too sharp. Then drain it, and it's off to the washing machine. Short cycle just to get rid of the excess dye. And there it is, dry and ironed. I'd call that a total success. Now for the painting part. I'm working with a soft, wide brush. I've got this teal fabric acrylic paint, darker than what we dyed it, and over here I've mixed up a violet, also similar but darker than the jeans. With just a lightly loaded brush, I'm gonna add some shading, darkening it up a bit, focusing on the seams so it looks more natural. Throughout this process, you'll see me turning the jeans around. That's so I don't get a hard line separating the front and back. Okay, I couldn't wait any longer. Had to bring out the stencil. For this, I'm using a smaller, rounder, stiffer brush. My plan was to do all the shading on the whole jeans first, then the stencil. But honestly, for this specific project, the order doesn't really matter. So I'm doing what I enjoy most first. Whenever you work with stencils, I definitely recommend not loading the brush too much. That way you get a cleaner, more defined result. For this one, I'm focusing on painting the center nicely, then fading out the edges with less paint on the brush. For a better transition, I'm overlapping the stencil about an inch over the design I just painted. On the teal section, I use the teal paint, and on the violet or purple section, I use the violet paint. Always remember to go a shade darker so your work really pops. By the way, if you're unsure about the color or tone, You can test it inside the jeans or on the hem with a tiny brush. And hey, if you're learning something new here, hit that subscribe button. I drop new tutorials every single week. Alright, back to the shading. Don't forget those external and internal seams. Now I'm going to repeat that whole process on the back. For these jeans, I decided to keep it identical front and back, but depending on the design, sometimes I like to mix things up. Final step for the shading, using this rust brown color with a round brush, softer than the one I used for the stencil. With the brush barely loaded, I'm going to give it some light touches, focusing again on the seam areas. In some sections, I'm moving the brush in circles to get a better blend. For one more stencil, same stiff brush I used before. And again, keeping the paint load subtle. This stencil is part of my Whimsy bundle. That's 30 designs you can download and make your own stencils from, just like I did with this one. I'll drop the link below in the description, along with all the other materials. let's remember how these looked when I bought them. And look at them now! Without a doubt, a one-of-a-kind piece. If you made it this far, thanks so much, and I'll catch you in the next video.